The Apple TV 4K 2025 is being talked about as one of Apple's boldest moves in the world of home entertainment. For years, the little black box has existed quietly on the sidelines, overshadowed by the iPhone, the iPad, and the Mac. But this time feels different. Apple is treating its next-generation streaming device not just as an accessory, but as the centerpiece of the living room. This isn't simply about streaming shows and movies anymore. It's about powerful hardware, smarter software, gaming that rivals consoles, communication tools built for families, and a deeper role in the smart home. In other words, Apple wants this small box to become the heart of your connected lifestyle. To understand why so many people are excited, it helps to step back and look at the history. Apple's streaming journey began way back in 2007. The first Apple TV was a chunky silver box, looking almost like a smaller version of a Mac Mini. It was basic, but it showed Apple's ambition to bring its ecosystem into the living room. Over time, the product slimmed down, evolved, and embraced streaming services. By the time the Apple TV 4K arrived, it had become a sleek black box that quietly powered the entertainment setup of many Apple fans. What set it apart wasn't the price, because Apple TV has always been more expensive than rivals like Roku, Amazon Fire TV, or Google Chromecast. Instead, it was the polish. The smooth menus, the deep integration with iPhones and iPads, the seamless AirPlay support, and the high-quality video playback always made Apple TV feel a little more premium. It was the streaming box for people who cared about the details. The last real upgrade came in 2022. That year, Apple added the A15 Bionic chip, HDR10 Plus support, and changed the Siri remote to USB-C instead of Lightning. It was a nice update, but nothing that changed the game. Now, after nearly 3 years, tech watchers are convinced that Apple is preparing its most ambitious Apple TV yet. This isn't just another small refresh. It feels like Apple is finally ready to take the gloves off and show how important the Apple TV can really be. The expected launch window is late 2025. That timing is deliberate. It places the release right before the holiday season, making it a perfect candidate for Black Friday deals and a holiday gift. Apple knows that this is when families look to upgrade their home setups, and positioning the new Apple TV at that moment could give it the widest reach it has ever had. But timing is just one piece. What really makes this upgrade fascinating is how it ties into software. Alongside the hardware, Apple will introduce tvOS 26, a major overhaul that was teased at WWDC. This isn't just a small cosmetic change. Apple is calling it the biggest redesign in years. At the center of this revamp is what they're describing as a liquid glass interface. Instead of flat, boxy menus that sit awkwardly on top of the video, these new translucent menus feel like they belong to the content itself. Imagine watching a movie and pulling up the menu, only to see it seamlessly blend with the film in the background. It's more immersive, less distracting, and distinctly Apple in its attention to detail. Multi-user households are also getting special treatment. Profile switching has often been clunky on streaming devices. Apple's solution is to make it faster, almost instant. The system will recognize who's watching and tailor recommendations accordingly. No more kids' cartoons messing up your carefully curated list of thrillers or dramas. Then there's the redesigned Apple TV app. Instead of simple lists of titles, the new app embraces giant poster-style artwork. Browsing will feel more like walking through a cinema lobby, surrounded by colorful movie posters. It's not just functional, it's designed to bring back the excitement of picking something to watch. Apple isn't stopping there. FaceTime on Apple TV will also see improvements. Contact posters, those fun, customized visuals from iOS, are coming to the big screen. Live captions will make calls more accessible. And for something more lighthearted, Apple Music Sing will get a boost too. Imagine using your iPhone as a karaoke microphone and singing along with friends or family. These are small touches, but they make the living room experience more playful and connected. Now, while these software upgrades will also roll out to older Apple TV models, the real magic will be unlocked by the new hardware. Rumors suggest that Apple will leapfrog the older A15 chip and go straight to a powerhouse processor. Depending on the production schedule, we could see the A17 Pro, the A18, or even the A19 chip inside. That's the same class of chips that power the iPhone Pro models. Why does that matter? Because it's not just about faster menus. It's about turning Apple TV into a true gaming machine. With chips like the A17 Pro, Apple has already shown console-level gaming on the iPhone 15 Pro. Games like Resident Evil Village and Assassin's Creed Mirage have proven that Apple Silicon can handle demanding titles. If that performance comes to the living room, Apple TV instantly transforms from a streaming box into a console competitor. Think about it. Hardware-accelerated ray tracing, advanced graphics rendering, AI-driven performance boosts, these are the kind of features that gamers associate with expensive consoles like the PlayStation or Xbox. Suddenly, the device under your TV isn't just playing Netflix, it's running blockbuster games. For families, that could mean one less console to buy. For Apple Arcade, it's a chance to grow into something bigger than ever before. Networking is also on the list of improvements. Today's Apple TV already supports fast Wi-Fi, but the 2025 model may push it even further with Wi-Fi 6E or possibly Wi-Fi 7. Apple is even rumored to be working on its own in-house wireless chips, replacing parts from Broadcom. The result would be faster, more stable connections. That means less buffering during 4K HDR streaming, smoother online gaming, and a better experience for households filled with smart devices all fighting for bandwidth. Another area where Apple may finally change course is communication. For years, Apple has leaned on the clever continuity camera feature. It lets you mount your iPhone near the TV and use it as a camera for FaceTime. But while it works, it's clunky. Setting it up each time feels awkward. The rumor now is that Apple will just build a camera directly into the Apple TV. That one move changes everything. With a built-in camera, Apple TV becomes the ultimate communication hub. Imagine family video calls on the big screen, without fiddling with extra setups. Or think about remote work meetings where you're not hunched over a laptop but comfortably seated on your couch. Fitness apps could even track your movements in real time, turning the TV into a smart workout companion. And what about the remote? That humble accessory is also set for an upgrade. Rumors suggest Apple might add a tiny speaker, so you can ping it when it's lost in the couch cushions. Small change, big quality of life improvement. The Siri button may also be rebranded as the Apple Intelligence button, connecting it directly to Apple's new AI ecosystem. That shift could be the defining feature of the Apple TV 4K 2025. Apple Intelligence isn't just a buzzword. It's about making your interactions smarter and more personal. Picture this. You sit down after work and say, Apple TV, recommend a movie like the one I watched last night. Instantly, you get a curated list. Or you ask, show me highlights from my team's game. Done. Even controlling your home could be part of it. Dim the lights, lock the front door, and start the movie. The Apple TV doesn't just obey, it coordinates, pulling together different devices in your home into one seamless experience. This works because Apple TV is already a HomeKit hub. It supports Matter and Thread, the new standards for smart homes. But the 2025 model could push that role even further. Instead of just being the device that runs your shows, it could become the brain of the modern smart home, managing lights, thermostats, cameras, and appliances. Entertainment, communication, gaming, and smart living all flowing through one box. And then, there's the price question. Apple TV has always been more expensive than competitors. That premium price has limited adoption. But according to well-known analyst Ming-Chi Kuo, Apple may finally be ready to break tradition. The rumor is that Apple is considering a price below $100. That one decision could change everything. If Apple really does go sub-$100, it suddenly becomes competitive with Roku, Fire TV, and Chromecast. Millions of households that once dismissed it as too expensive might reconsider. With a lower barrier to entry, Apple TV could finally step out of the shadows and become as mainstream as Apple's other devices. And once you're inside the ecosystem, Apple knows you're more likely to subscribe to services like Apple TV Plus, Apple Arcade, and Apple Music.